set. It's Lipton time here in Florida. Women's final day features top seed Steffi Graf. The reigning Wimbledon champion brings her fluid, aggressive game to her 4th Lipton final. Graf, on a 10-match winning streak, has not dropped a set on her way to this championship. She'll face the number 2 seed counterpuncher Arantxa Sanchez Vicario, who defeated Gabriela Sabatini to take the '92 title. The first tennis family of Spain is here to support their country's brightest star. She's shown championship form all week, including last night's victory versus Kimiko Date. The Spaniard is only 1 step away from her 2nd straight Lipton title. Welcome to our live coverage of the Lipton Championships on the barrier island of Key Biscayne overlooking Miami. It has been a beautiful day here at the Tennis Center, one of the best days that we have seen here at Crandon Park this week. Today we'll be bringing you live coverage of the women's final as top seed Steffi Graf takes on the number 2 seed and defending champion Arantxa Sanchez Vicario. The weather has not been kind to this tournament all week, but today the temperature is 75 degrees. We're looking at humidity at 72%, gust of wind up to 20 miles an hour. The skies mostly sunny, chance of rain in the forecast, but we look to be in great shape weather-wise so far. Hello everyone, I'm Julie Moran, and this Lipton Championship is one of the few events outside of the Grand Slam tournaments where the women and the men play concurrently at the same location. It is also the last hard court tournament before the players turn their attention to the grueling and gritty clay court season. And joining me now is a man who has been here since last Friday, and Cliff, it has been a strange 8 days.
The most incredible bad luck, Julie, and it all started before this tournament began. You know, there was supposed to be a permanent stadium here built 3 years ago. That still has not happened because of lawsuits from local community folks. And then come the first Saturday of this championship, and believe it or not, there was no play, not because of the rain, but because of the wind. And that is unprecedented. Following that, we had the loss of a major seed, Michael Chang, who won the championship here last year. He's the holder. Jennifer Capriati, a local favorite, also gone early. The rains continued through the week. Then Michael Stick, the number 9 seed, he was shown the exit. The court then pulled up. There were bubbles on the court, and Butch Buckles said, what else can happen? Well, what else did happen? Andre Agassi also exited this championship. And then the number 1 seed, Jim Courier, mad with himself and the chair umpire. And finally, our number 3 seed, Stefan Edberg, also gone.
Well, Cliff, we also saw Steffi Graf have to leave and take the court 6 times because of rain. How tough has it been for the players from a scheduling standpoint?
Julie, it's very difficult, of course. If you have to go out there and then go back to the locker room, change, and do it again 6 times is, again, unprecedented. Just terrible bad luck for the championship again. But let's face it, these guys are professionals. These gals are professionals. They are playing for $1 jillion as well. Let's get on with the show. And,
Cliff, we have finally made it to the final, and joining us also is Betsy Nagelson. And, Betsy, this should be a terrific match because Sanchez Vicario always plays Steffi tough.
Well, that's very true, Julie, and the thing is, about the only thing that really has gone according to form this championship is the fact that the 2 top seeds have reached the final in the women's draw, and they've both done so very impressively. Sanchez Vicario's only lost 1 set en route, and Steffi Graf has lost only 12 games in her 5 matches. And but the interesting thing about this developing rivalry between these two is the fact that they did just play last week, 2 weeks ago, in the finals, Virginia Slims of Florida, and of course Steffi Graf won that in straight sets, but Arantxa Sanchez had many chances to win that. She had a pulled hamstring, felt that had she been able to move a little bit better, she could have really capitalized on that win. But the 3 times that Sanchez Vicario has beaten Steffi Graf, they've been in Grand Slam tournaments, twice at the French Open, and most recently, just last year, at the U.S. Open in the quarterfinals. So she's a big tournament player. She'll have to pull out, I think, her best tennis, though, against a very, very informed Steffi Graf to win today.
She certainly will have to pull out her best tennis. So the number 1 seed takes on the defending champion, and we'll be back with the ladies' final right after this.
The Lipton
Steffi Graf serving. correction, it is 30 all at this point.
First game of the match, of course, best of 3 here. Steffi Graf must be feeling very good after yesterday's effort. She has never beaten Gabriela Sabatini worse than she did yesterday in the wind, late afternoon. Love and 2.
But she also hadn't beaten her in Florida either, had she, Cliff, in about 8 matches. Very difficult situation coming on and off the court so many times as we get an early glimpse at the speed of Sanchez Vicario.
In fact, she overran that.
Yeah.
It is deuce now.
Some speculation about the playability of this court today when the sun came out, concern about whether it was going to bubble up again. It hasn't. In fact, the court was patched again this morning. There were problems after last night. The tournament officials put a tarpaulin over this court to protect it from the rain, and it did in fact rain this morning. But the court officials speculated that that might not have been a good idea because it kept the moisture in the surface. Nevertheless, play is on, and that's the best news.
This first game is history. Steffi Graf leads 1-love. And this is the first tournament that we have done without Arthur Ashe for a very long time. And for more on what he's meant to this team, let's go to Cliff Drysdale.
Julie, these ribbons that we are all wearing signify support for Arthur Ashe's AIDS Foundation. The Lipton tournament honored Arthur last weekend with Arthur Ashe Day. As you know, he lived part-time here in Miami. And as we've already said, Julie, Arthur was an integral part of our ABC tennis shows. Arthur's greatest on-court triumph was winning Wimbledon in 1975 over Jimmy Connors. It was the highlight of a career that included a US Open win as well. Make no mistake, he was one of the greatest players of his time. He was also a triumphant Davis Cup captain in John McEnroe's heyday. His own playing style was risky, flashy, flamboyant. But interestingly, it belied his personality, which was just the opposite, low-key, quiet, and reserved. There will always be a deeper agenda for Arthur, and his final cause was the defeat of AIDS, to which this dignified soldier finally succumbed. Mostly, I rejoiced for Arthur when Nelson Mandela was released and it became apparent that the hated apartheid system was doomed. I was born in South Africa, and no cause meant more to him. Many public figures have a public image that is really not true to them as people. That was not true in Arthur Ashe's case. He deserves every accolade, every glowing tribute that he has received, and we here at ABC Sports will sorely miss him.
Thank you very much, Cliff, and welcome back to the Lipton Championship. Steffi Graf has taken this first game. It is 30-love, and also joining us a lady who has worked closely with Arthur over the past years, Pam Shriver. Pam?
Well, Julie, it's funny. A lot of the last month, everyone's been thinking about Arthur, and my career's long enough, so I started to play before Arthur retired. I started in '78. As a matter of fact, I warmed him up before his last big singles final in the '79 Masters. because he had no one else to warm him up. And I was thinking about last year's finalist, Arantxa, Sanchez, Vicario, and I can remember Arthur saying time and time again how Arantxa Sanchez has the greatest lob in the universe.
Kim, I'm sure we'll be seeing quite a bit of those.
And there's the lob.
And there it is.
Good enough that Graf missed the overhead. Not that much wind today, although there will be gusts during the afternoon. No reason for her to miss that. The sun's right behind her at this stage. Take a look at this again. Perfect lob in response to the shot from Sanchez Vicario. Then she throws it up. This should not have been missed. Right on top of Graf's head.
Well, Cliff, the wind is not as bad down on the court today, but it's still tricky, and Steffi just didn't move her feet quickly enough.
40 love.
And that evens the score at 1-all in this first set.
Betsy, I saw her trying to come over the backhand side there on that return of serve. You haven't seen much of that shot from Steffi Graf, and it was a wild one. It wasn't even close.
She doesn't do it often. She's been doing actually a little bit more during this tournament than we've seen. She's so talented. She's really capable of all the shots, and she's certainly gotten a lot of flack, have you, about not hitting over her backhand more. And I think that it's not as necessary as so many people claim it to be. I think she's so solid off the ground, and her slice is so effective. She could improve that shot and even learn to come in behind it. It'd be such a perfect approach. She's trying to come in more. It'll be real interesting in this match just to see how aggressive, how many times Steffi Graf goes to the net. She's been doing it. She did it a lot against Sabatini in the semifinals.
She comes.
15-all. And Betsy, let's take a look at Arantxa Sanchez Vicario's bio-information here.
Only 21 years of old and already achieved an awful lot. 5'6", very, very compact build. She's very quick, one of the fastest players out here. She loves to run. In fact, she loves it when it's hot. It sort of injects some more energy into her already high-spirited game.
And let's also take a look at the bio information on Steffi Graf. Only 23 years old, 5'9". She has a place very near here, doesn't she, Betsy?
Yes, she does. She's from Germany, but she is just about an hour and a half up the road in Delray Beach, where she just won the tournament 2 weeks ago, close to home.
Bingo. Passing shot easily set up by the volley that was hit too long from Sanchez Vicario. This is easy meat for Steffi Graf. Take a look. This Vicario comes into the net. Now this presents no problem for Sanchez. You could see Sanchez Vicario try to make a move to close the gap, but far too late. As you were saying, she has a place up just about an hour and a half from here, but they are in fact staying here in the Miami area. It's too long a drive, according to her coach, Heinz Gundhardt.
This a big point for Sanchez Vicario. She has a break point right here very early.
High ball toss of Graf, and she just dropped her shoulder too soon on that serve.
She's gotten away with it all week. It's been very windy. This is perhaps the least windy of all the days.
And Sanchez Vicario has the break on Steffi Graf early. We'll be back.
Bowling's.
Welcome back to the Lipton Championships from Key Biscayne. Sanchez Vicario leads 2-1 first set. Just lost that first point.
Wonder when last 3 siblings were all seeded in the same tournament. Sanchez Vicario's 2 brothers both seeded in the championship in the men's singles. Emilio 26 and Javier 31. He's taking a risk trying to drop shot Sanchez Vicario because she's about the quickest player in the women's tennis business. Nevertheless, this one from Graf took her completely by surprise. Take a look at this one again. You could see Sanchez Vicario not ready for it. Nevertheless, got to it, but not in enough time to get it back. Here's another effort. You can see that little step back before she made the move forward. That cost her, and taped it.
And Cliff, that's right level with me here on the court. And Graf's backspin actually moved towards the net after it hit the ground. That's how good that was.
15-30.
Javier Sanchez, after his match, he lost in the first round to Michael Pernfors, who was a qualifier. He said, "No mas, no mas." But I don't think he meant it.
Talk about 3 siblings being seeded this year's Australian Open. I think he had 3 Malevas all seeded. But here you have 32 seeds in both men and women, so you have a better chance.
You can see early on the on-forehand stairs in this young match. Steffi Graf with 7, most of them on the forehand side. Of course, that's the side that she'll take her chances. Therefore, she'll make winners on that side. She's also going to make some errors.
And Steffi Graf has a break point here.
So a chance for Steffi Graf to get the break right back.
Steffi seems a little more nervous maybe today than she's been all week. She has not come out here the aggressor as she has done in her previous matches this week.
You know, it's difficult to play against Sanchez Vicario because you have to earn a victory. She never loses to players ranked under her. You know, she's a women's version of Michael Chang. When you're out against Michael Chang, you're going to have a long day at the office regardless. And I think Steffi Graf knows that about playing against Sanchez Vicario, in spite of the fact that she has an excellent record against her overall.
Absolutely, very tenacious. She will get everything back. And Sanchez Vicario holds on to that game. 3-1, she's up a break, first set. And you're seeing taking a look at the Spanish fans here. She's got quite a few of those in the stadium court today.
You know, these two played a match in 1989 that will go down in history as one of the most remarkable results of all time. It's when they played in the final of the '89 French Championships. I'll tell you about it after this. Wide. Graf had won the Grand Slam in '88. She had also won the first stop in the Grand Slam for that year, '89. She won Wimbledon and the US Open after it. And had she won that match against Sanchez Vicario, it would have been a 2 Grand Slam back-to-back for her, which is unprecedented. It's never happened before. In fact, only one other person, man or woman, has ever won the Grand Slam twice, and that was the great Rod Laver.
And of course, that gave Arantxa her first Grand Slam title.
And only Grand Slam.
And only so far. She certainly has since then proven she can play on all surfaces. She's won a grass court tournament, Newport, Rhode Island, '91. Maine really as a clay courter, but has really proven in the last year and a half that she can really, she's a very dangerous player. She can really break open a point very well. She can play. She's won a couple of hardcore tournaments. She won 2 tournaments last year in '91, right here at Lipton. And she won the Canadian Open.
92.
92.
And Steffi Graf has this game. Arantxa Sanchez Vicario leads 3-2 first set. We'll be back.
I can't keep this.
For these fans, too. Place is sold out today. It will be sold out tomorrow as well. In fact, there were a number of sellouts.
$15 here.
Well, we got a little string that's popped. And because Arantxa hits with so much topspin, she does break her strings fairly often. Usually players carry 5 or 6 rackets all strung pretty much the same, maybe 1 pound apart.
Terrific stuff there from Sanchez. Again, just using her speed to get to the ball and then whacking it by. Look at this. This is not a bad approach shot. In fact, you could hardly hit it better than that. Now, that is not a great volley from Graf, and she pays the price because Sanchez Vicario had such a good look at the pass. Here again is the look at her foot speed and then the full shoulder rotation on that shot. And she knew she had that baby before she made the swing.
Well,
Followed up by that.
I was just about to say, Cliff, that's the side that Arantxa likes, is the 2-hand backhand. If there's a wing that lets her down, it'd be the forehand side. And her forehand, in my opinion, is pretty predictable, especially against an attacker, someone who's at the net. She'll hit that cross court. That's her favorite shot. But Steffi has really continually tried to get in. But it's the forehand that's let her down today. She made 5 unforced errors in that 4th game, all on the forehand side. Of course, she is trying to hit big shots from it.
And Sanchez Vicario takes that game. It's 4-2 now, first set. Let's take a look at the early round results. There we have the early round results for Steffi Graf. Betsy?
Yeah, she's gotten through this very comfortably. Beat Chanda Rubin, the young talented American, in the first round. Wild card Nicole Arndt in the second round. And Patty Findick, a relatively easy match against a player who's given her a lot of problems. Comfortable against Toziat, and then the surprise semifinal win, 6-love, 6-2 over Sabatini. We've mentioned what a dramatic match that was. Took 6.5 hours to play it because of the rain delays. It was only just under an hour of actual play.
And here's how Sanchez Vicario got to this final.
Of course, both players had a bye in the first round, and a little bit easier, a little more difficult road for Sanchez Vicario. Beat Roz Fairbank Neidifer and Ann Grossman. Both who are playing good tennis this year. And you can see had a little hiccup, lost a set to Natalia Zvereva, a talented player. And it was the win over Date in the semifinal. It was Date who had beaten both Mary Jo Fernandez, the 5th seed, and it was Jennifer Capriati, the 4th seed, who had lost to Judith Wiesner in the 3rd round.
They were in the same section.
The same section of the draw.
Well, this is what
what drives Steffi crazy is that Arantxa gets so many balls back, and it's also amazing from down here the different height of Arantxa's ball. She hits it sometimes with an awful lot of loop, so it goes above Steffi's shoulder. Other time it's flat, so it's hip height, and when she slices it, it's down around her calf or her ankles. So Steffi's dealing with a lot of variety.
You may be interested, Pam, that Heinz Gundard, who's Steffi Graf's coach, said that her game now has more variety than it did last year. He says that shots like these off the forehand side, look at that, how far she is off the air when she makes contact with that ball, are just as good as they were last year. But he says now that she's using more variety, strategic variety. Good. There's Heinz Gundard left of your screen. Heidi Graf, that's Steffi's mother, on the right of your screen. I'm looking for Peter Graf. He's not in your picture. He has been here at this championship. He doesn't spend that much time on the road with Steffi anymore. But Heinz Gundard from Switzerland, a great player, terrific doubles player himself, very successful player on the men's tour.
And this is a huge point for Steffi here. She does not want to be broken again in this first set, and she has been broken. Sanchez Vicario leads 5-2 and will return with more from the Lipton Championship after these messages and a word from our ABC stations.
Saturday on the Young Indiana Jones Chronicles. Indy tangles with a spy ring.
Welcome back to the Lipton Championships here in Key Biscayne, and join us tomorrow for the men's singles final. The winner of the Pete Sampras-Peter Korva match, that is the first semifinal today, will take on Malavia Washington or Marcos Andruska. That's the men's final action tomorrow at 4 o'clock Eastern. And we are back live with the ladies' final. Sanchez Vicario leads 5-2 first set. Steffi Graf took the first point here, 15.
No reason for that miss hit. Very compact player, and there is the Sanchez Vicario camp. That's her coach there in the middle, the white in the white hat.
Of course, Carlos Kielmeyer has just changed camps from Gabriela Sabatini to Arantxa, and of course Gabby had such great success in defeating Steffi Graf so many times. And early on in this match, Arantxa has been playing a lot of slice approach shots when she has had the opportunity.
Kielmeyer from Brazil. He's an excellent strategist. He really, in my opinion, was responsible for helping Gabriela Sabatini win the U.S. Open.
He really changed her game around. She became a much more aggressive player, I think, as a result of working with Carlos Kielmeyer. And I think Arantxa Sanchez Vicario is looking for the same kind of benefit from him.
It's a double break point here. Sanchez Vicario upset with that line call on this big point.
Well, and a player really knows it's too late. If the umpire hasn't overruled immediately, there's no chance here. But sometimes you feel better just making the argument a little bit longer.
Take a look at it again. Looked good to me. I think that was probably a fair complaint from Sanchez Vicario. Anyway, second serve.
Steffi Graf has the break and the game. Sanchez Vicario leads, though, 5-3 first set.
Still has one break in hand, Julie, and that may be enough. Graf to serve. Incidentally, just a moment ago, you saw Arantxa Sanchez Vicario's mother there, and she took her surname Vicario after she won that great French championship victory over Steffi Graf that we talked about earlier. She said, from now on, call me Sanchez Vicario. It was her mother's surname, which is often done in Spain, by the way.
Been a few scuds launched off the forehand side of Arantxa here. I think she's just taken her eye off the ball a bit. But Steffi will like this side where she's serving now better than the other side because she's a little bit against the wind. Although for the server, by far, this for another about half hour or so, this is the toughest side to serve. But Steffi likes to hit into a little bit of a wind because her shots are so heavy. Sometimes they go out with the wind.
Guessing that the big hitters and the more attacking players prefer the wind in their face. They feel a little more confident, a little more in control. And Sanchez Vicario gets an awful lot of spin on her shots, so she won't be as troubled with the wind at her back.
Eleven errors of Steffi Graf's forehand against 4 winners. That is not good enough. There's another winner. That's her bread and butter shot.
And we'll be back with more of the ladies' final from Key Biscayne right after this.
Olympic gold medalists and 2 of their biggest rivals. 4 of skating's best compete in a dramatic showdown today on ABC's Wide World of Sports.
Welcome back to the women's final in Key Biscayne. Steffi Graf has won the last 2 games to pull to 5-4. Sanchez Vicario leads here at the Tennis Center at Crandon Park.
First point to Graf, love 15 now.
And not only has she won the last 2 games, but she's won 9 of the last 10 points.
Second time that Sanchez Vicario served for the set. This time, as you pointed out, Pam, she's serving into the sun, a much tougher side. Much tougher. Boy, has this thing turned around or what? Love 30.
You know, it's interesting. When Steffi got down 2-4 in the first set, she went and changed her rackets, which she often does when she's not feeling comfortable, or it's, you know, she tends to blame the racket. It's never her. But anyway, since then, she's only lost the 1 game.
In this case, it obviously was the rackets thing.
That's the champion mentality.
Thread the needle right on the line. Might have in fact been an outside edge. Take a look at this big point for Graf. Would have given her 3 break points, but Sanchez Vicario, look at this. Bingo.
The tough thing about the Sanchez Vicario backhand is that she really can go either way. She was on the run here, so it's more likely she's going to go up the line, but that's the side she much prefers to try to pass from.
15-30.
Crowd here in South Florida really get into it. As you said, there are some people from Spain, but aside from that, of course, this is kind of a crossroads city, a border town, as one of our production staff called it, between South and North America. A lot of Spanish spoken here.
And Steffi Graf has the break point here.
Steffi was picking on the forehand on that point. She even returned her off backhand to get to the Sanchez forehand and then open up the backhand side.
Sanchez Vicario playing it very smart, just down the middle. She's not trying to make things happen at this stage. Probably the right thing to do. The pressure, after all, is still on Steffi Graf, with Sanchez Vicario serving for the set deuce.
It always amazes me how many approach shots that Steffi Graf just passes up. 2 points ago, as you mentioned, Cliff, Arantxa was just getting the ball back in the middle, not only in the middle of the court, but also around the service line, and she did not want to be aggressive.
And it's set point here for Sanchez Vicario.
Vamos, she says. Sanchez Vicario holds on.
This seems to me a very similar pattern as we look again at the Sanchez Vicario count. Carlos Kielmeyer, just her coach for the last 2 weeks. This match reminds me very much of the win that Arantxa had over Steffi at the U.S. Open in the quarterfinals, where Steffi really looked confused and even said so much afterwards. Sanchez did a very good job of just getting the ball back, and Steffi really was at a loss for how to play it strategically.
And well, we just saw Steffi Graf's first loss of a set in this tournament.
And again, she's making so many more unforced errors when the wind is at her back.
She does take a very big swing, doesn't she, Pam? And she doesn't exactly hit the forehand out in front of her.
You know, this is new, too. Steffi used to always hold 2 balls, and it's very interesting. Just this is the first time I've noticed that she's now going to the ball kids for the second ball, and that time it sort of took a while to get it from the ball kids. I could never understand why Steffi did hold on to the second ball, because I felt like sometimes it would mess her up on the backhand side. But it's taken a few years for her to make the change.
.30-15 here. Betsy, let's take a look at Steffi Graf's forehand errors.
Well, you can see 16 off the forehand. That's just way too many, and as Cliff mentioned, just not enough winners. Normally, we see a lot of errors from the Graf forehand, but it's supplemented with so many winners. Sanchez Vicario at another break point. That was the first double fault from Steffi Graf.
Again, watch this high ball toss of Steffi Graf. So I'm going to say that's about 6 feet above where she makes contact with the ball before it starts its way down. So the wind hurts it. that forehand to the winner's column. It didn't win the point, but it forced Sanchez Vicario to throw up that high lob. That time, Graf made no mistake about putting the overhead away. They've played against each other a lot lately, as you said, just a couple of weeks ago in the final of the Virginia Slims of Florida. They also played the Australian Open. That one won also by Steffi Graf. Of course, the very big one, I suppose, was at the US Open last year. That one won by Sanchez Vicario. But twice this year, both on hard courts, both won by Graf.
And half of the matches in the last year have gone 3 sets, so they definitely have their battles.
Steffi seems to be coming to the net more now than she was in the first set.
I think she's been trying. I think she certainly, not only today's match, but I think she's been trying all week, and she's been doing it successfully. She's got all the shots to do it and passes up, as Pam mentioned, so many opportunities to come in. She has a good volley once she's up there.
Steffi Graf holds on, takes that game. She leads 1-love, second set. We'll be back.
You look beat.
Yeah. Of sports, it's a showdown of skating superstars in the men's competition of the Durasoft Colors World Challenge of Champions. Plus, the road to the Kentucky Derby begins with the Florida Derby live, along with the conclusion of the Iditarod, all today on ABC's Wide World of Sports. We are back in the first game of the second set.
Slice down the line. Second game, actually, second set. First game to Graf. Sanchez Vicario taking the net position there. One of the problems that faces her is that if she stays in the back, of course, Graf is going to be aggressive. So she may be trying to be a little more aggressive herself. That's what she said yesterday. Of course, it's easier said than done. When you get out there in the battle of the heat of the moment, you sometimes revert back to what got you to the dance.
Maybe that's a more natural style of play for Sanchez Vicario. She's more of a counterpuncher, although she certainly added that element to her game. She moves so well that she can really take advantage of short balls, and she's one of the best doubles players in the world. She won 10 doubles titles last year, including the Australian Open, so she can definitely volley. She's very comfortable at the net position.
Betsy, if it's my money on this match now, and I'm coaching this young Arantxa Sanchez Vicario, I'm saying to her, just get the ball in play now. Let Steffi Graf dictate the play. If she can beat you, let her do it. But she's made so many unforced errors at the forehand side. I think she's got to capitalize on it.
I think that's exactly right. I mean, already today, Steffi's proven that she's quite willing to make a lot of errors, and Arantxa, I just feed her a lot of balls.
30 all.
Sanchez Vicario is the holder of this title. Last year, she beat Sabatini in the final. Sabatini, meanwhile, had beaten Graf in the semifinal for the second time in 2 years in the same spot in the semifinal. Monica Seles, remember, last year was beaten by Jennifer Capriati, so that opened up that section of the draw, 25-16 in unforced errors. It really hurt Graf.
And on top of winning the singles last year right here at Lipton, Sanchez Vicario also won the doubles, and she's one of only 3 active players that have taken the singles doubles sweep. And Steffi Graf was one of them. She did it in '88, both at Lipton and at Wimbledon. And of course, Martina has done it.
And Steffi Graf has the break point right here.
Oh, Graf should have had that approach shot. She had a ball that Sanchez Vicario had hit, who stood up and begged to be slaughtered. Watch this again here now. This one right here. Instead of just going through the ball and hitting it for a winner, she slices it right back into Sanchez Vicario. Open court, and Sanchez Vicario takes the gift with glee. Watch this.
Just bad instincts on the behalf of Graf. She really needed to keep the ball in front of her down the line.
Steffi Graf has approached every time to the backhand of Sanchez Vicario. It's her better side. That one was better.
So we see a little nod from Carlos Kilmar, little nod of encouragement, and then Heinz Gunhart now. Of course, these hand signals all mean a lot to the players.
Steffi Graf has the break and the game.
We should probably point out that the reason we're talking about these hand signals and things is that in tennis anyway, it's illegal to get coaching from the sidelines. So these players do nevertheless look over to their coaches and get a little bit of help there.
But interestingly, there's some talk on both tours to possibly do away with that. There's so many. There is a little signal. There we go. Caught you, Carlos.
What does that one mean, Pam?
That just means win this match. I'm not quite sure. I'm not up on these signals, but that was definitely a signal.
What do you think, Perez? Are you for it or against it?
Well, I think I'm for it because I think it would add an extra dimension to have the coaches on the court a la Davis Cup. And everyone has a coach, so why not use them during the most important time during the match? But it would be a disadvantage for those who can't afford to do it. So I don't know whether you'd have to have designated coaches and you drag someone out of the stands or what. But because not everyone has it, but certainly all the top players.
Now let's pause 5 seconds for our local stations to identify themselves.
This is KGTV San Diego, Channel 10.
And it's 15 all.
she likes. If you know these things, it sure makes attacking and playing aggressively so much easier.
Terrific passing shot here from Sanchez Vicario. Just take a look at this here. At this point, just look at her options there. She has already made the swing. Keep your eyes on Graf. She is moving to her left and then realizes that Sanchez Vicario has gone cross-court. By then, it is too late. Clean winner on the pass.
But Betsy, you're exactly right, because there's such a pattern with that cross-court, and it is a great shot. Even if you guess it, you've got to close in so quickly because she hits it with such topspin that it dips. But certainly I've seen that shot a few times. Oh, it was her grunt, and she thought it was called out, I think. Huh. I'm not sure the ball was really called out. Oh, it was a let, excuse me.
Let.
It's funny, I thought that Arantxa's grunt, because occasionally you do mistake a grunt for an out call.
And sometimes a server is when the racket hits the ground for a let.
And Steffi Graf holds serve. She leads 3-love. Second set after having lost the first. We'll be back.
This is stupid. Yeah, the only thing stupid.
Well, Julie, the Steffi Graf's, both her feet, she tapes them, and there was a problem with her right foot with a tape job, and she gets them taped up pretty tightly before the match. And she oftentimes during the match will find some discomfort, so the trainer will come out and quickly cut a piece of the tape off to loosen it up, or even take off the whole thing. So usually it's just a precautionary measure, everything's fine, and a bird's about to land on the court.
Well, it's more than a bird. It looks like a baby
blimp.
elephant flying.
Yeah. Whoa. Well, this is a park, isn't it? So we're really disrupting its life. I guess that's been part of the argument.
Sanchez Vicario has been broken 2 of the last 3 service games, and this is the tough side to serve from.
Love. Sanchez Vicario wins that game. Steffi Graf leads 3-1 and continuing a 68-year tradition of overhead appearances at major sporting events. With us today is the Goodyear blimp, Stars and Stripes. And there you're seeing a live shot of Crandon Park from the blimp.
the players get used to the blimps, but today's actually the first time that it's been flying around, so sometimes it can be a little bothersome. But earlier today, there's also a men's underwear billboard, flying billboard going around the court, and that can be very distracting. Very handsome young man, and only his underwear flying around.
Only you could say that.
Pam, actually, Marky Mark, we've noticed from up here. The young man. Pam, did that distract you this morning?
In my doubles match?
Yes.
Yeah, it did. That's my reason for losing, and I'm sticking with it.
15-all.
Uh-oh. Getting serenaded here. A few Spanish cheers.
Second serve, she dropped the shoulder too soon. You do that, and that's her second double fault. Just got to, with that high ball toss, you've got to keep the left side up.
You have to keep it up so much longer.
Well, this Spanish crowd is starting to really get obnoxious. They're applauding first serve faults, double faults. They're getting a little too much.
From Sanchez Vicario, as you pointed out, the backhand side is probably a favorite side for the Posh. She's got so much control of that shot. Here's Graf making the move here. She figures now she's got the open court. Okay, make my move, which is exactly the right thing to do. The problem is now you've got to look out, because she has hit a couple of those that you've seen down the line. Clean winners, and there was another one. Again, look at this.
Look how far back she is. Wow. Gives herself plenty of time.